This man survived 70 years without food and water. He said he stopped eating food and drinking water when he was 13 years old. No one in the entire world can cheat God, but this man clearly did. Imagine 70 years without water. Me had collapsed in a single day. This is the first man in the world to live in a desert for decades without getting ill. And he's the first man in the whole planet to have ever survived without money. No money, no problem, as they say. Still on as we explore his full story as how he beat hunger and thirst while most of us can't. Jesus survived 7 days without water and food, but science says a human body can survive 3 days without water and food. But prahlad Jani claimed to have survived 7 decades without food. This is the story of prahlad Jani, the man who baffled doctors, scientists, and the entire world.
We are all watching a miracle in the science or biology, so to say.
Back in India, Chakarat village, which is now Gujarat, in 1929 August, prahlad Jani was born. According to Jan, he left his home in Gujarat at the age of 7 and went to live in a jungle. He grew up like every other child. Then suddenly, he stopped eating. Then we were so shocked. At the age of 12, Jani underwent a spiritual experience and became a follower of the Hindu goddess Amba. What is Amba, if you may ask? In hedonism, Amba is a powerful goddess associated with the mother of the Vedas and the universe, often referring to the divine feminine. From that time, he chose to dress as a female devotee of Amba, wearing a red sari like a garment, jewelry and crimson flower in his shoulders length hair. Jani believed that the goddess provided him with water, which dropped down through a hole in his palate, which allowed him to live without food or drink.
Likes to study. I can ask him to see. One day he came to my office and said that, okay, I'll allow you to investigate, but nothing invasive should be done in your body. I said, you will have to be in the hospital under continuous video monitoring.
For over the 70 years, prahlad Jani lived in isolation deep in caves near the Ambaji temple. No food, no water, no illness, just meditation. He said his body was sustained entirely by spiritual energy, prana. He claimed to have received a blessing from the goddess Amba.
At midnight of the 8th day of Navratri, three goddesses appeared to me and bade me to follow Ma Kali, Ma Lakshmi and Ma Saraswati. I consented, prepared myself and asked, what about my food? They each placed a finger on my lips and said, you need not be concerned about food ever again.
From that moment on, he said he no longer need to eat or drink. Instead, he believed he survived on divine nectar, dripping inside his mouth, a gift from the gods. In 2003 and again in 2010, scientists put Jani to the test. At the Defense Institute of Psychology and Allied Science in India, he was placed under strict observation, CCTV cameras, constant medical supervision, no chance of escape. The observational studies were one in 2003 and one in 2010, both involving Sahir Shai, a neurologist at the Unsettling Hospital, who had studied people claiming to have exceptional abilities, including other fasters such as Hiraratan Manek. In 2003, Sahir Shai and other physicians at Unsettling Hospital India observed Jani for 10 days. He stayed in a sealed room. Doctors said that he passed no urine or stool during the observation, but that urine appeared to form in the bladder.
Because it's already 108 hours since Mataji's admission into this hospital, and he has not eaten anything, he has not drank a little drop of any kind of liquid, but more importantly, he has not passed a drop of urine.
A hospital spokesperson said that Jani was physically normal, but noted that a hole in the palate was abnormal condition. During the test, Jani's weight dropped slightly.
Proposing to have missions to moon, manned mission to moon, and in the long run to Mars also. So how people can survive? This strategy, if we understand how people are surviving without food and water, that may help us in working out strategies for making people to live without food or water for longer.
On 6 May 2010, prahlad Jani was again observed and tested by Dr. Sahir Shai and a team of 35 researchers from Indian Defense Institute of Psychology and Allied Science, as well as other organizations. The director of DIPAS said that the results of observation could tremendously benefit mankind, as well as soldiers, victims of calamities, and astronauts, all of whom may have to survive without food or water for long durations.
nor water, nor food during these 10 days of our project. Number 2, Mr. Prahlad Jani did not pass urine or stool during these 10 days, although we could see formation of urine in his bladder, which was reabsorbed from the bladder.
The team studied Jani with a daily clinical examination, blood test, and scans. Round-the-clock surveillance was reportedly following using multiple CCTV cameras and personal observations. The researchers say that Jani was taken out of the sealed room for tests and exposure to sun under continuous video recording.
Morning, evening, and there was ups and downs. At one time it is a 400 ml, then 200 ml, 300 ml urine. But at the end of the study, gradually there was no urine in his urinary bladder. He was claiming that he is absorbing the urine in his body, which was difficult to explain as far as
After 15 days of observations, during which he reported not to eat, drink, or go to toilet, all medical tests on Jani were reported as normal. The doctor reported that although the amount of liquid in Jani's bladder fluctuated and that Jani appeared able to generate urine in his bladder, he did not pass urine. Based on Jani's reported level of leptin and her related to appetite-related hormones, the RDO researchers posited that Jani may be demonstrating an extreme form of adaptation to starvation and water restrictions.
I don't believe it. For 10 days, he didn't urinate, pass stool, or have anything to drink or eat. And they conducted rigorous laboratory tests on him. One would...
Independent of their RDO studies, ITM and REST team has conducted imaging study in 2017. They have collected Jani's brain images and measured the size of pineal and pituitary glands. The result of the image study shows that the size of Jani's pineal and pituitary glands are of the same order of a 10-year-old boy. The study results have been published in scientific journals. Believers saw this as mystical power, a yogi who had conquered hunger and thirsty. But skeptics argued otherwise. Some said the tests were flawed, that there were gaps in monitoring, that no human could survive decades without water, because sans magically, without hydration, the body begins to shut down in just 3 days. To this day, no scientific explanation exists.
Bob, the whole science has to be rechecked. Something is there. And what is that something? They have to find.
Maybe there is something to it, who knows?
I mean, there's 100% truth in this, and if it is a truth, it is for the scientific world to now answer this question.
Perhaps what we are witnessing here are phenomena to which the natural sciences have no obvious access. Science considers this inconceivable and impossible, but other frames of thought might allow such things.
Prahlad Jani lived quietly until his death in 2020 at the age of 90. To some, he was a living miracle. To others, a mystery that science may never solve. But one question remains: if a man could live without food and water for 70 years, what else do we not yet understand about the human body and the human spirit? If you find this video intriguing, like this video and share it, and subscribe for more untold mysteries of the world.